Kinsey, can you tell me about the significance of Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, the president of the United States?
Oh, I mean, I don't think he's very significant at all, Mark. In fact, I think he's a creep. But, you mentioned the laptop story, probably one of the biggest. Years from now, I think we'll study Hunter Biden's laptop as one of the biggest political scandals of America's time. Do you remember Twitter shutting down the New York Post, Page 6, and they shut down any account that tried to post this story that Page 6 had about Hunter Biden leaving a laptop at a repair shop and all of the scandalous content that was found on that laptop, from pictures of Hunter naked with prostitutes, doing drugs. I mean, these were really disgusting, disturbing images that were found on this laptop during a campaign season. And instead of typically this is the kind of content you'd like to know about prior to voting for your next president, if that's his son, because I feel like, our children are likely a reflection of us in a lot of cases. But the media went out of their way to shut down this scandal. Hunter Biden, a deadbeat dad, refuses to acknowledge this precious little girl he has in Arkansas, has tried to, he demanded a paternity test, tried to reduce his child support recently, refuses to give this baby his last name. We've got the scandal happening with the Ukraine energy company with both Hunter and his father. Were they given a $5 million bribe? These scandals when it comes to Hunter Biden are absolutely endless. And I think you're right. I think he could jeopardize his father's second presidential run.
And it's worth remembering that the story about this laptop, full of very incriminating information, including Hunter Biden's dealings with other international powers, the Russians, potentially Ukraine, perhaps China, this incriminating story was silenced by social media companies before the election. So if they hadn't intervened, It's just possible that Donald Trump would now be the president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, talk about interference. This time it was our own media. It was the mainstream media who said that it was a hoax and that the story wasn't true. On every station, in every newspaper, on every website you opened up, they told us that this story wasn't true and that Twitter and some of these big social media outlets like Facebook were justified in shutting down this story. And it was very interesting the way it was handled, because the FBI were contacted when this laptop was left at this repair shop. And when they didn't show up to pick it up and didn't inquire, the man actually gave it to Rudy Giuliani, who had the gumption to take it to a media outlet, and the media outlet ran with it. And then everyone started trying to tear them down and tear down their credibility. This is the New York Post. And they lost access to a lot of their social media accounts. And then all of the mainstream media turned on them and said that it was a lie.
Can we talk about Harry and Meghan? And I understand that Harry's had some ideas for podcasts, but they haven't gone down very well.
You've talked a lot about Putin today, Mark, and one of the outrageous ideas that Prince Harry had was he wanted to sit down with Putin. He just wanted to talk to his guy. He wanted to discuss Putin's upbringing. He wanted to talk to Donald Trump about his upbringing. Trump, who, don't forget, Mark, Harry and Meghan went out of their way to refuse to see when Trump was there to see the Queen. They made a big deal about how they were not going to be available to Trump when he was in town. He wanted to talk to Vladimir Zelensky. He wanted to interview the Pope. So some of the more delusional concepts coming from Prince Harry's Spotify deal and pitches that were denied, or people just probably thought there's no way in hell you're going to get this. But laughable concepts indeed.